Hey guys, Jim with Jeffrey here. So today we're going to be looking at the bench press and in particular how we can implement the leg drive on the bench press to generate more force and greater tension. So when I refer to the leg drive on the bench press, I mean the amount of force production we achieve through our legs and how that force will transfer up the body. Because it's a very common myth that with the bench press, people often think that, oh, you're basically just pressing the bar up off your chest, like it's a pure upper body movement. But realistically, your lower body and your lower limbs, especially your legs and the drive and force that you can generate, it plays a critical role in adding mass and adding strength to your bench press. Now, the reason for that is because the bench press, when you think about the bar path of the bench press, the concentric where you press off the chest, that bar path, you don't press directly up. It's always, you're pressing up and back to get back to your starting position, which is over the shoulders. So if you think about it, the trajectory of that bar path off your chest, if it's moving in a backwards direction, if we can generate force from our legs, when we push the floor away from us with our legs, like so, you'll see that my body actually travels back. You'll see that if I'm on the bench, if I drive my feet into the floor, my body will travel up the bench. And that direction of travel is essentially force momentum traveling up my body, causing my body to travel upwards. And in a sense, that force is traveling in the same direction as my bar path is if I was to push backwards. So we combine the two. If you think about it, if I'm already pressing back up and back through my bar, if I was to generate another source of momentum through my feet backwards, those two forces are going to become additive. So they're going to add together to generate a greater force production on the bench press. Now, how do we get into that? A good cue I like to use for my athletes who are completely foreign to leg drive is simply I'll get them for a few reps or during their warm-ups, I'll get them to lie down on the bench and I'll just tell them, keep your body still, keep everything still. Don't try to pull your body off the bench. Don't do any of that. The only thing you're going to do is you're going to have your feet planted on the floor, you're going to feel your big toe, and you're going to dig your big toe into the floor and away from you. So essentially, you're trying to push the floor away from you, and that's going to cause your body to raise up the bench, like so. Reset. So if I tell my athletes, think that there's someone or something behind them, and you want to essentially move your body to reach that point. So I want to move my body up the bench by driving my feet into the ground. And essentially, that's leg drive. Leg drive is when you unrack you apply constant tension through that big toe into the ground to increase your stability, to generate constant tension without the lift, and especially when you're pressing off the chest, you generate as much force as you can into the ground to help create momentum traveling up your body. So let me do a rep in real time for you guys. Also, with leg drive, usually I incorporate it even into my setup. It helps me set my scapula down into position. I've done another video on this, but even in my unrack, into a starting position, all throughout, I'm applying constant pressure into the ground. I'm applying constant pressure through my big foot. My quads are on fire. As I take my brace in, lowering the bar, still applying pressure, generating stability. Now here on the chest, I'm gonna drive my big toe into the ground. You're gonna see how much explosive force and how much pressure I'm able to generate by incorporating leg driving. So to summarize the video up for you guys, the bench press is definitely not an upper body lift only. The leg drive and your lower body plays a critical role that is often neglected and overlooked. So honestly, during the lift and after your sessions, your quads should be on fire. Your quads should be so sore by the amount of activation you're achieving, you're producing. So essentially, dig that big toe in, push the floor away from you, and feel that force transfer travel up through your body and into your bar path press. So that's all from me today, guys. Hopefully that's helpful for you, and I'll catch you guys next time. Take care.